Okay, this is a follow-up video to the introduction to Teams for the Year 6 students at Amity International School. This video, if you're not sure about Teams, you need to go back and watch the other video first and learn a little bit about Teams. And then you come to this video and we're going to learn a little bit about OneNote and using OneNote within Teams. So the first thing we do is we go to the Google page and we type in download the OneNote app. Now you can use OneNote online in the browser, same as we talked about with the Teams video. However, once again, it's better if you have the app. So I'm going to put in download OneNote app and I hit enter. And when I hit enter, I get this first one that says download OneNote. So we click onto that and this takes us to the Microsoft page and it's a free download. Okay, so all you have to do is click free download. This will work on Mac and PC, and then you download and install the app. All right, so that's the first thing that you would like to do, is to download OneNote for free from the Microsoft site, and then we'll get to how you use it and how you use the app. Okay, so that's the first thing. Do that now, and then pause the video, and then come back and watch the next section. So you've downloaded the app and you've installed the app, and now we want to go and see how we're going to use it. So here I am back in Teams. So I've got my Teams all up on the screen, and in the previous video I showed you the laser class, Year 6 laser class working in Teams. Now the laser class have also organised a second team called Laser Class English. And we're going to go and have a look at that today. So I'm going to go into this class and your teacher will organise these classes for you. Okay, so here we go. We're in just a normal team. And you can see at the top it has the same things we talked about on the previous video. Posts, files, class notebook, assignment, grade, so on and so forth. And plenty of people are already in here chatting and using the Teams posts section, which is great. That's fantastic. What we're going to look at today is the notebook. All right, the class notebook. So I'm going to click on the class notebook, and when you get to the class notebook, it says your OneNote class notebook. So OneNote essentially is a notebook online where you can put notes and put images, and you can attach things. You can put some voice recording or some video. It's a notebook for all of your notes that you might take in class that is stored online. And one of the good things about it is it will sync with your computer and your online Office 365 account. So we talked about yesterday, you all know you have an Office 365 account. You have to have that to log into Teams. Well, you use that same account to log into OneNote. Now, OneNote, it's not really Word, but it's kind of like Word. It still has all of the functions that you can do, or a lot of the similar functions that you can do. But really, it's more like a notebook. It's more like not a formal word processing package, but more just a sort of a section where you can take notes and you can put information and you can work on your work online. One of the other good things about Notebook is it's collaborative. So that means you and a friend, or you and a group of people in class, can all be working on it at the same time. So it's one of those things that it's not just necessarily your work, like your own personal Word document. This is like a shared document where lots of people can use it at the same time. Okay, so we've got a class notebook here. Now, if I was going to work on this notebook now, I could click on class notebook. I could click on file, home, whatever, and we could edit a note, right? Now, I don't want to do any of that yet. I just want to show you how this works first, right? So let's go back to file. Oh, come on. Let's go back to home. Okay, so if I want to add to this, I could just click down the bottom, whack in a couple of returns, and I could add to this file. This is Mr. Nick adding to the class notebook. Okay, so I've added this sentence to the class notebook. And now every single person who is in this class will see the section that I've added to it. And someone else might go in and change what I've added. Or they might say, oh, I'm going to highlight Mr. Nick and make him bold and italic. And this is where the collaboration comes in, where other people can work on what you're working on at the same time. Okay, now it has, like I said, all of the similar features to Word. You can insert pictures, you could insert a file, we could put in some audio, you can put in an emoji, you can do lots of different things. You could draw, right? So you can get the pencil tool and write, no, this is wrong, which is not easy with a pencil tool. Oh, this is wrong. So you could do things like that like you would do with a notebook, all right? So that's why I say it's not necessarily like Word, it's more like a notepad that you would have in your classroom. Okay, however, some people don't want to do it online. They don't have good internet access, or they don't want to be online all the time. So this is where we get to, why did we download the app? Okay, so rather than open in the browser up here, what we could do is open in the app on your computer. So we click on that little drop down menu there, and we could say open in app. And you'll say, we're opening, it'll tell you we're opening Microsoft OneNote. You can now close this file and go and use it on Microsoft OneNote. So I could either resume editing here or try and open Microsoft OneNote. So I'm going to try and do that. Now it's trying to open it on my computer. Now I don't know whether you noticed or not, but in the bottom corner on my computer, you can see OneNote is now bouncing down here. It was loading, it was trying to open it. So it says it's trying, so there could be an issue. So let's go down and have a look. So I'm going to click on OneNote, and it's saying, oh, you haven't logged in yet. Welcome to OneNote. Great. This is what we can do. Yep, good, understand. Let's get started, and we need to sign in first. So before the web version's fully going to work as a standalone app, you need to sign in. So I'm going to sign in here, and it's the same as we discussed yesterday with Teams. You use your school email account. You put it into here, and then you hit next. And then you put in your password, and then you hit sign in. And once you've signed in, it's still signing you in online. It's saying, all right, good, you do have a proper account, you do have an Office 365 account, now we can start using OneNote. And then we can click start using OneNote. Now, the beauty of this is it has more features than the online version, and that's why some people would prefer to use the full version of OneNote. Now remember, OneNote's free, so you don't have to pay for it, so it's pretty cool that you can have this whole application on your computer and running, and it's linked to your school stuff, and they sync back and forwards, and you can do it all on your home computer, and you don't necessarily have to buy any software. It's great that you've kind of got all of this. So what it's doing now is it's syncing with my OneNote here, and it says, look, Nicholas at Amity International School. It's syncing up all of the information with my OneNote in Teams up here. So it's linking the two files. So once that link's been made, you won't have to do this every time. Once it's made it the first time and it's synced all the information, every so often it'll do a little sync and do it quickly, but once you've done it the first time, then you've got it synced for good, and you can always work on the app rather than working online. Okay, so my syncing has just finished, and you can see it still actually says syncing at the top. Now that's because it wants to stay up to date all the time while you're online. But you can see here is my synced class notebook, which has the welcome section. And look, it even has that line below that I added on the whole class notebook. So you can see things that have been done online are syncing with my own computer, are linking up with my own computer at home, so it's up to date. Okay, so that's why we're using OneNote, and that's one of the key things about using Teams linked with OneNote, linked with your home computer, is that they all sort of work together at the same time. Now, you should be able to see whatever task it is here in your OneNote in the main section here. Now remember, I'm a teacher at the school, so because I'm a teacher, I can see other people's work. Now, if you work independently, so if you're given an assignment or you're given a task by your teacher and you work all by yourself and you submit that work to the teacher, other people can't see it, right? So that, in fact, it says it here on the notebook section just here, a private space between the teacher and an individual student, right? So if you do your own independent work, then no one else should be able to see it, right? It should be just your own work. If you do collaborative work, everyone can see it and you can all share your ideas, and it's good for group planning and working together in groups and those sorts of things. Okay, so now that we've got our class notebook here and I'm working on the app itself, I've gone down onto the bottom of this same page that we're looking at and I've written the words, please sync this. Okay, now sync, remember, means to synchronize, which means what happens on my local machine, I want it to happen up on the internet as well. Now, every so often, your computer, if you're connected to the internet, will automatically sync up here. And mine actually says at the moment, couldn't sync. Now, that sometimes happens. It sometimes says, I couldn't sync the computer. Now, that means either the connection's not perfect or it's not sure what it wants you to do, but that's okay. If you leave it for a little bit longer, it will sync again and sync online. Now, if you really are worried about it, you can come over here to this exclamation mark here. You can click on that and you can click the sync button and it'll try and sync it again. Now, again, sometimes it works fantastic. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer and you might have to try and do it a little bit later in the day. It doesn't always work straight away. So now I'm going to go online, have a look and see if these 3 words I wrote have synced online. So I go back to my Teams, and here we are in Teams. I'm just going to scroll my way down and look, it has synced. Please sync this. So it's gone online. So it's updated what I've done from my local machine here, and it's updated and it's put it on there. And it's interesting because it actually says here, couldn't sync. So in between the time that I started making this video and trying to show you, at some stage it has synced and updated and put my information on here. So let's just try it one more time and just see if we can do it live so you guys can see. This is a new test. Okay, so I've added to my local notebook app, I'm clicking on the sync here and I'm clicking sync here and I'm trying to synchronize it online, and we'll see if we can do this live so that you guys can see how it works. And see, sometimes it says can't sync certain areas, can't sync. That's okay. It will work eventually. You just need to be patient and make sure that you see that it works. All right, so let's have a look here. Look, it looks like it's updating over here. See how it's updating? And there it is live. This is a new test. So it has updated my work. Even though on here sometimes it says, there we go, it says couldn't sync, it has actually updated it on here. And the best thing to do is you check it on your local OneNote and then check it again just to make sure that it's on your class team so that your teacher can see it. So sometimes it has a few little bugs or a few little issues that you might think, oh no, my work hasn't gone up. But in actual fact, you've just seen it has gone up. It went up live, right? So you need to just check and make sure that you're getting your work on there correctly. Now, one of the best things I suggest that you can do is try OneNote. Download the app, follow the instructions, get online and start doing some activities. Just make some notes. Just draw a picture if you want to draw a picture and then try and sync it up onto your folder, right? Try and do that and see how you go. And then if you've got questions, same as I said in the last video, go on to Teams like I am here, go to the posts and post your issue on here to me and I'll try and answer it, or to Mr. Max and he'll try and answer it, or your classroom teacher, and they'll try and answer your issues that you have with OneNote. The idea is that we're all learning how to use this program, how to link things and get them going online, and if we all work together, we'll get it done.